Yo, what's up, guys? CastnBlast back with some more Queen Pop LaLoon. And this week, I'm going to be going over a bunch of viewer questions on different types of bases. Take a look at this base. The CC is well inside of any defense. It's a hard to pull CC. So you know you're going to have to spend something to pull it. And you're looking at it, it's a 9.5. Lower level queen though, but a hard CC pull. And you're probably thinking maybe queen pop's just not the thing to do because you got blowers facing here. If you want to trap the queen, you need to put her inside a triangle somewhere. So really the best option with that CC radius, you'll see it's just on... This is the furthest out it is. So you're going to have to get into this cell and kill that air defense, leaving you this triangle for the queen. But it's so spread out and the pull is hard because this blower is covering those defenses. You have to spend a lot of troops and a spell, probably a haste, to get in there. I'm going to go over some failures and what went wrong and show you the right way to go about it. So this first failure is pretty simple. You have to do the steps, guys. Take out the air defense first, find a way to pull the CC, kill the CC, and then focus on the rest of the base. Without that first part, you're doomed. So if you give up on the pull, you are doomed. And that's what happens. This guy goes about it pretty correct. He gets some loons in there and then sees he's going to have to spend a haste, but the haste isn't covering where he needs to cover. He wanted to go for that cannon, but you're just going into the blower. You need to put that haste out so your loons can start on it. And if you're going to use a spell and a bunch of troops, you want to clear out this whole section. So it's better to start clearing out that whole section. So he's simply just going to give up now. Give up on pulling the CC. You can't give up on pulling the CC. Without the CC pulled, nothing else works. This raid should have been way over here. And if you're cutting a funnel on this portion, you got to start wrapping around the base from where you cut your funnel, from where you started with the zap, taking out that first part of the base, and then wrap around. So this rage, it's really not covering anything. If you can use your rages over whiz towers, over X-bows, and to deal with that enemy queen, that's what you need to do. So spell placement, you can see loons just balling up. It's not helping him out. That first portion fails. Second portion just, you know, from the beginning, he gave up on the CC, and now those CC troops are eating him alive. So that's pretty simple. We'll go into some better ones and show what happened there. So he's going to do a little bit better. You know, he chooses the right air defense. He's going to zap and earthquake that out. But remember, if you're going to spend that earthquake and you want to kill a portion of the defenses to pull the CC, put that earthquake like out here. It's going to get all these damage, so it takes less loons and you can clear out that whole cell. Just when you're spending the earthquake. So he gets a couple loons in. He throws a haste. Make sure if you're going to spend a spell and troops, throw down a bunch, guys. Make sure you can get that whole cell. You want to get that whiz tower and that archer tower and probably that cannon if you can with your beginning troops. And then you have a nice cleared section. But he got the whole CC. So he's already ahead of the game on that first attack. And he's doing this pretty correctly. He's crossing the face of these defenses. This should have been cleared out. So you should just be crossing these defenses. But he's working with what he's able to right now. He's crossing the face. He's bringing the hound in. Look at all those air skellies come up to deal with his troops. That rage, I understand. You got to get your loons in there quick, right? But you also need to cover this area. So drop that rage deeper so you can try to cover that queen, guys. And there's just so many things happening on this. You know, you get in that panic mode where one thing doesn't go right, then the next thing isn't going right, and one after another, these problems snowball onto each other. But he does have half the base clear already, right? So you can salvage this. And this is what I'm talking about. When things go wrong, and you're like, oh no, what am I going to do? You can salvage it. So did pull the CC. He didn't give up. he cleared out this part of the base, even though a bad spell placement. But you're in the fourth quarter. You're down 3 points, guys. You got to start doing something right. And he has 1 hound left, 2 air defenses left, and he throws that rage like so close. What are you going to do for this whole part of the base, right? You got to think of that. So try to set yourself up for success. If you can't, drop that rage deep to continue your loons into the third part of the base, I guess. Because the second part is going down. That air defense goes down, but now his loons just run out of power, right? And even though there's just a little bit left, that loons are in a bunch. That blower just bunches them up even more away from the air defense. Throws his queen or king in to try to help, but that blower is just going to keep on pushing him back, and the air defense is going to keep eating them up. So you got to do things in the right order. If you make mistakes, try to recover a little bit, and the spell placement on these wide bases is key. If the base is compact, get your troops in there as fast as you can, guys. If the base is spread apart with Queen Pop, you need to save your spells for the core mostly to get your balloons moving around. So that was pretty good. This one will be the closest. So he almost gets it, guys. He almost gets the 3-star. And it's a good attack, and it's fairly close. And the last ending spell just ate up a little bit more time. But he puts his loons in, right? He knows he's going to go in the blower, guys. So I know you want to save those spells, but more than often, like if I showed you guys all my replays of war, we would be here forever, right? So I don't show you a lot of the ones that are just so simply easy that I swag a lot of spells. I don't end up using a lot, guys. So don't be scared if it's a tough CC. Throw down that spell and troops in the beginning. Save yourself from redeploying or reusing spells. And just get the job done right away. You know, if you're worried about it, it's better to go overboard than to go less and have to redeploy. So he does get that wholesale out. Awesome. He's crossing the face of the defense. Amazing. His troops are coming in about at the right direction, and I don't have a huge problem with this spell placement. I would have placed it probably here. You know, a little bit deeper, more covering the queen, getting past this whiz tower, and getting your troops moving in the right direction. So the spell placement is going to hurt him a little bit, and probably just the amount of time it took him to deploy this second portion of his troops coming in. So his troops are moving across. Now, the queen's still not down, but he can save this attack. He rages a couple pups that help him out, but look where the rage is placed. Now, we had to use the haste and a rage. If this rage is here, what is happening over here? You need to help out your loons move into that third portion of the base still. So that rage doesn't have a lot of help. Besides, it takes the enemy queen out. And he does have some loons, and he saves some for the backside. So there's a lot of things that are going to help him on this attack. But the loons keep getting bunched up right here, and that air defense just keeps shooting them down. Luckily, the loons spread apart a little bit, caused the blower to redirect, and he's pretty much able to tank with his king. I tell you guys that a lot. Save your king. Do not use your king for the CC kill. Save it, because in a base like this, or something just goes wrong, everything starts going wrong. That king can be your saving grace. Throw down at the end. He can tank for you and let those loons move in behind those defenses. That's what he's doing right here. But there's only 2 loons left, a couple pups, and he's simply just going to run out of time. It was so close, so close. 99% runs out of time, but it didn't have to be that close. I'll show you why. Right, so we're looking at the same base, and I told you my basic plan, and we're going to map out why this looks so much different than some of the previous ones. Not bad attacks, by the way. This is a very hard base, a deep CC pull, protected by blowers, 9.5 base, so it's tough. It's tough. It's not a beginner Queen Pop base by any means. I only recommend it if you're familiar with the attack, if you do good with it. So right now, I placed the Earthquake where I could get the most DPS. I threw down my haste in advance, placed a group of loons real close where I know they would power through that whole cell. And I wasn't afraid. I had extra loons at the end, maybe a little too many loons I could have probably put 2 or 3 less, but I wanted that whole cell cut out. And what that does for me is it creates me a barrier from this portion to the rest, so I can wrap around and start going over the queen. I won't lose too many loons distracted by closer defenses. My queen is shooting down the CC, so now I don't have to spend, I still have my king to do something else. And I was trying to save my queen's ability. I probably could have. I was seeing how much damage she could take from a baby drag there. Is just kind of a gee whiz on my end part. But here I bring in a couple hound heavies. I know he's got so many traps and defenses there. And then where my rage is placed, I put it over the whiz tower. I need my troops to move in and get movement going this way and that way. This portion, there's going to be an expo that's going to be focused on the hounds the whole time because it's in range of that air defense. So I want my loons moving quickly together over that back portion. And you can see I'm already bringing in my second part of the attack, because the more defenses you leave up for a longer amount of time, the more DPS damage per second your troops take. So if you can clean as fast as you can, you will have a much higher success ratio. And now as my troops move to the second part of the base, so I got that rage in. You can see where the placement is. This one's to get the job done on the queen, right? And also, if you have more hounds and troops in the base, the queen, once she pops a hound, there's stuff around her to focus on instead of the pups. You don't want her instantly sniping your pups out of the way, but that rage is placed deep. I'm taking out this portion so my loons stay in a straight line and start going towards that air defense quickly. Quick is the key name of the game right here, and it's a giant balloon parade. I put up my king to tank because I saw there was a bunch of not successful attacks, and it made me think maybe this base is just harder than I'm looking at it. But man, look at those troops left, and there's pups freaking everywhere, and more loons than I possibly needed to clean this base. And it's a 3-star in no time. So there's simple, small mistakes that you can make that turn an overwhelming 3-star into attack that just fizzles out. So don't give up on the CC, guys. You have to pull the CC. If you don't pull the CC, it's over. Game over, unless they threw a hound in there and you just lucked out. But we don't see that much these days. A lot of people don't put hounds in anymore. When I created this attack, it was because everyone had hounds in their CCs. I was like, what about an attack that just avoids pulling the CC? That's where Queen Pop started. But now people don't throw hounds all day, every day in their CCs. You see it every once in a while. So you got to pull it. Pull the CC. Create that starting point. Try to take out as many troops as you can. If you're using a haste and 5-6 loons to pull the CC, you better make sure you get some payback for that. Get some worth out of it. Make sure your rages are covering the right spots. And then if you're going into a second part of the base, sometimes it's better to hold that second rage. Make sure you have enough speed for your troops to get there. And as you see, it can turn into an overwhelming 3-star. So I hope that made sense. I hope that helps, answers a few questions. There's a little fail and clean. I know it's a long video, but I thought there was just a ton of different little small things you guys could pick up from this. Press like and subscribe. Ask me any questions if you got them. I'm going to have videos all week covering spread bases, hard pull CCs, everything you guys have been asking for, and I appreciate the comments. I always read them. I know sometimes I get caught up working 48-hour shifts, so I can't respond right away, but I always read what you guys write, and I do appreciate it. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at CastnBlast_COC, and I am on Twitch. It's CastnBlastCOC. COC. Hopefully start streaming soon, so make sure you guys add me on there, set those notifications, and I'll catch you guys next time.